Take my money. Take my fucking money. You are a fucking menace to society. Did they lock this man up? I hope they locked this man up. Nice bucket challenge.
It's very common to see him shit on people who do something.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Gorilla Reacts. I'm still sunburned, so we're gonna have another little quick video. So I was just scrolling through my YouTube page, you know, now that I'm clicking on all of these weird TLC episodes and, you know, things like that, my feeds become pretty cursed. And I couldn't help but see the title of Twitter's Most Pathetic Man. That sounds pretty fucking interesting. Let's watch. Oh, my fault. If you like the video, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Twitter, you might see a wholesome Chinese man trying to learn English and make it.
Who is this man? James Cage? His face looks familiar as fuck. In the first few seconds, I feel like I've seen him somewhere.
Cage White on Twitter, you might see a wholesome Chinese.
I know I've seen him somewhere on Twitter.
Man trying to learn English and make it big in America. But if you read the replies, you'll see a fan base that absolutely despises him. But what did he do? You see, James treats his Twitter like
nothing, absolutely nothing. Welcome to Twitter.
His personal diary, like the kind you would hide from your sibling diary. From the outside, it seems nice, but as you delve into his tweets, you realize he shares every thought, action, and opinion that you shouldn't share publicly. He's tweeted about being a lonely loser, desperate for, in his words, a white woman, scamming his fans with crypto whilst complaining he's broke, telling everyone he was going to beat the gay out of his hypothetical son, starting beef with Australian man Mac,
beat the gay out of his hypothetical son. How the fuck does that even work? I think they should make a test before they let people sign up to Twitter. I think they should just put some basic ass fucking equations or something, or common sense questions like, what color is an orange? I bet you there'll be people that fuck that shit up. Those people should not be on this fucking app because this is ridiculous, bro. We're, what, 39 seconds into this?
It's about putting watermelon seeds in his, hole. Watching sex scene compilations from The Witcher, the video game. Now you'd think all these tweets would come from somebody who's an incel, but no. He's married. Well,
he's fucking married? Holy shit.
In an arranged marriage where he's not allowed to take photos.
Arranged marriage. I was about to say, bro, who the fuck marrying you? Holy shit.
With his wife and his father-in-law.
Brody's putting watermelon seeds in his fucking ding-dang, bro. What the fuck? And you're sharing that on Twitter? Nah.
Him, but married nonetheless. And he has a kid. All of this has led to him being one of the most interesting, frustrating, and hated figures on Twitter. But not hated in the way someone like Brendan Schaub is hated. Though James does have an audience of people who hate watch him. He's more of a, God, this is so frustrating to watch, but I can't look away. Kind of like a car wreck that never ends. But is this all an act? These days it seems everyone's putting on a character from iShowSpeed to Keemstar. So is James putting on a character when he claims his in-laws hate him, he can't touch his wife, and he is not autistic? Is that actually true?
Could be.
Well, today we'll find out. Starting out on Vine, James found the secret formula, amassing over 440,000 followers. He would document the mundane things in his life in kind of a charming, childlike way. But even in these times, there were signs pointing to what was to come. Many of James's Vines involved
put the watermelon down.
Of him talking about wanting a girlfriend.
Single, I'm handsome. I want to find a girlfriend here. Please help me. Thank you so much.
Not just any girlfriend, but a white girlfriend specifically.
Check this dog. I like white woman.
In fact, it seems going back to much of his old content, apart from his catchphrase, very cool, very swag, I like it. The one constant is his need for a girlfriend, or as he puts it, a white woman. Now when somebody is this desperate for a girlfriend, there's generally a reason why. While some guys lie about their height or weight on their Tinder profile, James took it a step further, because if you can't tell, James isn't actually his real name. So he decided to come up with a fake name to market himself, specifically to white women. He settled on the admittedly memorable James Cage White. But why James Cage White?
My name is James Cage White. James is from James Bond. Cage is from Nicolas Cage.
Holy shit. No way.
White is from white women. I combined them together and made it my name. Very cool, very swag, I like it. I'm good at naming.
As Vine shut down, James needed another platform to transfer his talents to. The most common direction Viners went at this time was YouTube with the likes of Jake Paul. But James had different plans. He transferred his online presence to the perfect place, Twitter. As James shifted over to Twitter, his opinions, gripes, and struggles would become even more apparent. Because unlike Vine, James could allow his unfiltered thoughts to spill out in a stream of consciousness, which left him sharing details.
No, we're not about to skip by like we didn't read that title.
James could allow his unfiltered thoughts to spill out in a stream of consciousness, which left him sharing details of his life with the entire internet, such as his love of playing with himself, accompanied by his post-nut guilt, working an insurance job and quitting after a few days of training, and like Vine, his many daily activities. Also taking an ungodly amount of selfies. You see, every single tweet he makes is accompanied by a selfie. Would you tweet?
There were like 20 selfies right there with the same. He did that all in a day? How do you follow people like that? I hate people. I don't even like anything. I'm one of those people that follows all these people and I don't like shit. Like, I don't like nothing from nobody. If I follow you, that's already something. But you got me fucked up. Bro, put the caption as, maybe I can breastfeed my son too. Haha, just kidding. How do you delete somebody else's channel or page?
Tweet a selfie with this.
I'm almost 36. I still can't find a girlfriend. I'm a total failure and loser. I disappointed my parents so much. I'm very shameful of myself.
It was the selfie.
Loser. I disappointed my parents so much. I'm very shameful of myself.
One look through his Twitter and it's obvious that years later, James has held on to this childlike attitude that made him famous on Vine. This includes his ideas of fame. As James shows us, his life goal is to be a celebrity. How? Well, who knows. But the best way to understand it is like a child saying, when I grow up, I want to be famous. Not understanding that, for the most part, people are famous for a reason. It's not to say he hasn't tried to capture some of the hottest trends a decade later, such as the Ice Bucket Challenge and Gangnam Style, which he's been doing for the last 10 years, which have become signature moves of his. It's likely that what goes through James's head is, this made me famous.
What's he doing with the cup?
Which have become Ice Bucket Challenge and Gangnam Style, which he's been doing for the
That's not Gangnam Style, bro. That's holding a water
last 10 years, which have
Why is he? There's nothing in the cup, bro.
become signature moves of his. It's likely that what goes through James's head is, this made me
He did it again.
famous years ago, so it will surely work now. Now you might look at James's age and say, man, that age behaving like a 15-year-old. He must be pretty useless. But James insists he has valuable skills. In fact, when confronted on his skills, James states how his skills are
Water Bucket Challenge. Gangnam Style. I have 2 words. Don't watch Bad Sight and Take care of my son.
Those are his
etc.
skills.
For a complex creature, he is one
That's
of
what he
many
puts on his
contradictions.
resume.
I know this might be shocking to hear, but James is a massive
Ice
hypocrite.
Bucket
So
Challenge.
it's very common to see him shit on people who do something only for him to do that exact same thing later. He states that he's a hygiene guy and always washes his
I'm
hands
gonna lose
after
my
pooping
mind.
or
Fucking James Cage White.
including the child's dirty diapers. Now you might get mad at James for these things, but keep in mind, these things aren't happening because of his choices, but in his words, fate. Why can't James get a job? Fate. Why can't James get a girlfriend? Fate. Why did James spend all of his unemployed money on Steam games? Fate. Fate is the most important concept in James's life, apart from maybe rewards. Like a rat in a psychological experiment, he does all of his menial tasks as a reward. Eating grapes, reward. Gangnam Style, reward. Kissing a picture of his wife, reward.
Then I guess I have no choice but to offer a reward.
But back to fate, James believes we don't have any free will and we can't control anything. It is all fate, therefore there is no point in fighting the inevitable. This gives him a very nihilistic outlook on life. Now, philosophers have argued for a long time that we don't have free will, but usually they don't use that to justify quitting their jobs or spending their entire savings on Steam games.
I don't think there's any religion like that. This is fucked, bro. If your excuse for not getting a job, if your excuse for being lazy is fate? You know what your fate is? Being fucking broke. That's your fate, bro. What the fuck? There's nothing else there for you. What do you think's gonna fucking happen?
I mean, James says we can't control fate, which is why it's not his fault when he spends his money on video games, because not him nor anybody else could have prevented this from happening. It is all fate.
I bought FL Studio to make music. That is not my choice. It's my fate. Also, I bought Witcher 3 DLC. It's also my fate.
James points
Not the Witcher 3 DLC is my fate. For what, bro? It's your fate to fucking play the couple hour DLC, bro? Holy shit. You have a fucking... Wow. Wow, that's it? Like, that's your fate, bro? Wow. What the fuck? That's kind of sad, ain't it?
to examples of celebrities such as the royal family
Not
and
even
Elon
kinda.
Musk to prove his point, as no matter how hard we try, we will never have what they have. This is a perfect excuse why if you never find a partner, job, or meaning in life, you're hopeless because you can't control it. Spend your rent check on Steam games? Fate. Kill your child through your own neglect? Fate. Get your car repossessed because you're 5 months behind on payments? Fate.
Holy shit.
But James doesn't mean this in a metaphysical way, as in, if nothing matters, we may as well all be happy. It's more of a way to escape any personal responsibility for his failures. Speaking of which, James has one of the strangest addictions I've ever seen, and while it's not eating rocks, it's just as odd. Buying Steam games. Not playing them per se, but buying them. Rather than getting your dopamine hit from wins or achievements, James gets it from hitting that checkout button on the Steam page. A nasty addiction he's tried to quit, getting his fix twice a week. His addiction is
What the fuck?
usually fueled by his fan base.
The fact that he put just kidding at the end just makes it so much worse. Just kidding, haha, just kidding. Just kidding, JK. JK the JK.
And the longest he's ever gone
Just
is
kidding.
an eye-watering 12 days.
Haha, just
Although
kidding.
the average amount of time he goes
Ha.
without buying Steam games seems to be anywhere from 2 to 5 days, as seen by his many countdowns. He justifies it in his head that if the games are free, people donate him money with the express goal of using it on Steam games, or just straight up donating him games. He hasn't broken the streak.
I feel sorry for his fucking wife. Wow. Holy shit. An addiction to buying Steam games. You don't even fucking play them? They should do a study on this man. Actually, like... Yeah, you know what? Just so that I don't sound like a complete asshole, they should do a study on him.
However, if the game is cheap, he can still buy it. And while it may break the streak, he's not a bad guy. It was simply fate that made him buy the game. If you ever consider donating money to James to help with his family, as he claims, I can guarantee you that money will go straight to games. Once the streak is broken, he will inevitably restart counting the days he hasn't bought a game from Steam. Which makes you question, if the streak is going to be broken by fate every single time, what's the point in keeping it in the first place?
I also don't... Everything is fate. It's 5th day that I don't buy game from Steam. And I also don't watch Bad Sight. And M. Dun dun dun.
Be broken by fate every single time. What's the point?
How does one believe everything is fate, but also take the credit of any accomplishments? Damn. He just lit your fucking ass up, bro. Are these beliefs not contradictory? Fucking tell him how you really feel, Ant on the volume?
Point in keeping it in the first
I definitely
place.
didn't butcher
People
that.
have donated quite a few games to James over the years. Here are some of them: Job Simulator, Go-Go Nippon, Desktop Girlfriend, Furry Feet, Anime Armpits.
Not the
just
high
to name
five,
a few.
bro.
Now you may wonder if James is begging for money in games. He must be pretty broke, but you'd be surprised to hear he's a bit of a businessman. His number one business is e-begging in exchange for, at most, a follow back and a thank you. If you pay him enough money, of course. Not enough money, and sorry buddy, you're not getting that follow back. But he has gone even lower, including guilting people into donating to him by using his newborn baby and dying father as bait. After which, receiving the money from people
Holy
concerned about his
shit.
family, he spends it on
I mean, look at him, bro. He wouldn't do any of this. Look at him, bro. Look into those eyes. You're gonna tell me that this man is gonna take a picture of his dying father in the background for donations and his kid? No, what? Look at him. Look at him, bro. Doesn't help I can't see his pupils.
The most important thing in his life. Steam
That's what
games
they're called, right?
that he'll
Pupils,
play once
yeah.
or not at all. Yes, the addiction is that strong. While he has been employed a few times, he always quits his job without fail, usually within a very short time frame, including the time he was training for an insurance job, accompanied by this iconic tweet.
There's a man in my room. I can't tell you guys more.
James, I sure there are easier ways to get PS5.
I am gay.
James claims that he will only work for a job that has a certain salary, despite him having barely any work experience or discernible skills. But James is more than just an e-bagger. He's gotten pretty smart with this entrepreneur stuff, including trying to scam people with a fake crypto he dubbed James Whitecoin, selling his old translated diaries on Amazon Books for cash, also creating a game, which I have footage of right here.
A B C D E F G
Oh my
H I J K
God.
L M N O P Q R S T U V W X Y Z.
But
Take my money. Take my fucking money. Take my money.
perhaps the most iconic James money-making scam was his t-shirt, which is a pretty scandalous story in and of itself. In order to obtain more money to waste, James has designed a couple of t-shirts.
Oh my god, look at the fucking t-shirt. It's not even... Oh my god. It's like... Just the fact that the one in the middle is like high up here. Like the picture stops right here. And then it's just like stops at his belly button. It's like the picture is a crop top. It's... Why does it... And he's fucking charging $30, bro.
It's all of
What
which
does that
I'm
say?
certain he took a photo of himself, drew random stuff in MS Paint, and printed to sell. The first website to host these shirts was Teespring. While he was promoting this shirt, his fans asked him on his opinion on what he would do if his hypothetical son was gay. Now, what you have to understand, despite what he thinks, James has very little, if any, real fans. His quote-unquote fans are people who interact with his posts to goof on him and to get him to say stupid shit. So in this instance, when prompted, James said this.
Drinking medicine again. 2 times a day. If my child is gay or lesbian, I will educate him or her. Maybe I will beat him. I will try my best to make him back to normal. If still doesn't work, I have to accept the fate. My wife may not accept this fate though.
He also followed it up with,
I just want my child to be normal person. I don't want my child to be different person like LGBT. How is that wrong? I don't care what other people are LGBT or not. I just want my child to be normal. How is this wrong? I said nothing wrong. I will never accept a LGBT child.
This prompted his fan base to contact Teespring and get him removed off the platform. In response to this, James said everyone else was to blame except for himself. How could the haters and trolls allow such a thing to happen? And how was he supposed to support himself without his t-shirt money? Eventually, James was able to use other sites such as
Holy
Bonfire to sell his shirts, thwarting the haters' plans for good. James has used these money-making techniques in order to support his Steam game purchasing addiction, even though he claims the money goes to his wife and child. But how do you be an unemployed e-begging loser and manage to have a wife and child? Well, James did eventually end up finding a wife, believe it or not, although she is not white and he didn't exactly find her. After striking out and dating multiple times, even with the help of his mother, James
What?
was down on his luck.
Do you see that, man? Him strike out? Bro, get the fuck out of here.
So his family
man's
paid
a
another
stud,
family
bro.
10 grand USD in order for them
bucks.
to take in their unemployed man-child of a son and give him a wife. James was set up for an arranged marriage in which they immediately had a child. But as he finally achieved this goal, kind of, there was trouble in paradise. Turns out while James's father-in-law will take his family's money for his own flesh and blood, that doesn't mean James is welcome. James has gone into great detail in his diary, Twitter, about his quarrels with his father-in-law, which include not letting James sleep in the same bed as his wife, instead having to sleep on bunk beds. Also not allowing James to name his own son.
Father-in-law's given name for kid is fucking stupid and dumb. Even my mother doesn't like it. But she doesn't want me divorced with wife. Kid will have no father or mother. Kid with single parent is very miserably.
According to James's Twitter, his son is
losing my
Peter
fucking
James
mind.
White. But evidence, also provided
Holy
by
shit.
James, shows that his father-in-law and wife would not let him name the child. James even threatened to divorce his wife if she didn't let him name his own son. Assuming they came to a compromise and allowed James to pick the English name for his son because they didn't give a shit. But this also might be James coping for not being allowed to name his son. James's treatment of his son is also interesting, to say the least. He constantly posts about how
Did he just say that he gives his fucking kid leftover milk? My wife authorizes... Oh my god, he drinks the leftover fucking milk. You are a fucking menace to society. Did they lock this man up? I hope they locked this man up.
James's treatment of his son is also interesting, to say the least.
We're gonna have to look and see where he is now after this video, because I've never heard of this man. I've seen his face once, but I don't like people like that. But this is ridiculous, dude.
He constantly posts about how good of a father he is. Yet there's pictures of him with his baby looking like it's dead. I mean, look at this expert father. Now, I'm no father myself, but leaving a baby sleeping on their side like this seems quite dangerous. And it is. In fact, a baby sleeping on their side can cause sudden infant death syndrome, but any attempts to communicate these are in vain because James doesn't listen to advice he doesn't want to hear, which can be incredibly frustrating for onlookers, especially when it's literally about trying to keep his infant son alive. Now, this could be
Holy
because
shit.
James has a massive ego. Whether that was a result of his upbringing or his internet
No.
notoriety is unclear.
This man have an ego? No way.
But he's
Don't
quick to
believe it.
dismiss people who tell him things he doesn't want to hear, which has further caused people to hate James. He has so many problems that could easily be fixed, but he refuses to leave his comfort zone even slightly, instead opting for excuses or blaming fate. So it's no wonder that James has attracted the disdain of many online. He's kind of like a car crash that you can't look away from. All of these people have become enemies of James. One of the most prolific being Australian man Max, or as you may know him, Max Mofo. Max has been a follower of James for quite some time, and the relationship has been a bit tumultuous. Perhaps the two most iconic of their interactions were when Max told James that he eats like a pig after James posted this disgusting video.
Oh my god. Oh,
Now,
take it off.
allegedly,
I can't.
calling someone
I
a
can't do
pig
it.
in China is one of the
I
worst
can't.
things you can say, along with a rat and a dog. James, insulted, blocked Max and said he would never forgive him, only to unblock him shortly after being pressured by his fans. Since this interaction, James has had a suspicious lack of open-mouthed selfies on his Twitter. The other legendary interaction between these two was when James posted a picture of the watermelon
Not
seeds
the watermelon.
he was eating.
I forgot
Max
about the
responded that
watermelon.
James should put the watermelon seeds in his penis. James, in a fit of rage, blocked Max and said the only way he would forgive him was to offer him Chinese lessons for $100 for half an hour of work. This one, for some reason, seemed to enrage James more than the pig comments, as he said he told his mother about where Max told him to put the watermelon seeds. Even to this day, when James posts pictures of him eating watermelon seeds, people remind him of the ancient Australian tradition of putting them in your urethra. Another perhaps serious advice giver to James was a
I
Twitter
love that.
account known as Lord
That's
Eisen,
awesome.
who seemingly tried
Shout out
to
to
give
Max
actual
Mofo.
advice to this man,
He's hella
which
funny.
is kind of like teaching a
Shout out
fish
to
to
Cold
sing.
Ones. Holy shit.
Even when it was obvious to everyone watching that this is a complete waste of time as James doesn't listen to anything he doesn't want to hear, the man kept at it. James ended up blocking Lord Eisen for giving him genuine
love
advice on how to improve his life, which is just so funny. Although Lord Eisen is an interesting character as he would reply to literally every tweet by James until he was blocked. Now James's replies are full of people actively mocking him, pretending to support him, or just marveling at the mess that his life is. And if it was just his own life, I mean, who really cares? But the fact this man has a child that he is actively responsible for is concerning. James is claiming that he will leave his son all of his tools to be successful, such as his Xbox and the current version of FL Studio Pro, which he spent at least $150 on and has no idea how to use. What's even weirder is James's belief that his son will take on his great legacy like he's Tyson Fury. As James continues to spew his whole life on Twitter, he builds more lore for himself and creates more enemies. But the most sinister enemy in James's life comes from his own flesh and blood, that being his mother. It's clear from the way she treats James that she thinks he
Very save, very swag. I like it. See, when I look at the picture on the left, it's like, okay, that is definitely not even. And then you look at the picture on the right, and you're like, what the fuck are the dimensions on this man's head, bro? What the fuck? How does it change from that? This angle right here is dipped in? Bro.
He needs some sort of taking care of, which in all fairness he probably does, but this also leads James to being in his late 30s and still unable to do basic tasks that a fucking teenager could do. James and his mother seem to cling to the idea of legacy. Combine this with her helicoptering him, and you have a recipe for failure. There was an arc where she would set James up for dates and presumably come on them herself, or at least be heavily involved with them. Now, I don't have...
Oh, I need to read that. Hold on, I need to read this. I fail in dating again. My mother thinks the girl I date isn't beautiful and a little fat. I told her what my mother said and she left disappointment. My mother thinks I can find better one, but I think maybe I cannot. It's very, very hard. Maybe in the end, I only find a worse one. Holy shit, bro. James, bro, you need a fucking therapist in your fucking life, bro. And your mom does too, because holy shit.
Where she would set James up for dates and presumably come on them herself, or at least be heavily involved
Oh
with
my
them.
god, there's no way. There's no way the mom sets him up for a date and then comes on the date with him, bro. There's no way.
Now, I don't have to tell you that bringing your mother on a date is a setup for failure, and it's no wonder James has had zero luck in dating apart from his arranged marriage that in all likelihood was a move from his family to continue the legacy no matter the cost.
Imagine meeting the mom on the first day. Imagine meeting any fucking parent on the first day.
According to James, his mother threatened to off herself and his father if he married a divorced woman with a child. So it's fair to assume...
What did that say? My mother threatened me if I date this divorced girl who has a daughter, she will commit suicide with my father. No joke. You guys all persuade me to fight against my mother. You guys want my mother dead, right? It's not good. It's not what fans should do. It's not cool. What the fuck is going on? Bro, they're all psychotic. Holy shit, holy shit.
Herself and his father if he married a divorced woman with a child. So it's fair to assume that
I need to see where he is now.
James's mother has more input than himself. In fact, there was a Chinese dating show that James appeared on that basically confirms this. James appeared on the show Mortal Delight in 2018 in an attempt to find love. Unsurprisingly, his mother accompanied him on the date as well.
有点。那为什么最终你还是来了呢？他在挡不住我的脚步吧。
However, it seems James actually did pretty well for himself to start the date. While he clearly isn't very smooth, he's not bombing.
Tell the world I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday.
Now,
let him
he
know,
did start
James.
strong, but
That's
he
what I'm
didn't
talking
exactly
about.
finish the same way. After his mother comes in and makes the date about herself, he proceeds to serve the woman raw meat twice.
No, bro.
He also speaks in a sincere way and still manages to brag about his singing, art, and talk about fate, which if anything should be pretty obvious confirmation that James is not playing a character. Right? Well, actually, it seems James is somewhat self-aware. Kind of, but also not at all. Let me explain. James has seemed to become somewhat self-aware in recent years as seen by his reaction to certain posts. With some other prominent internet figures, the answer is usually a clear yes or no, but James is somewhere in the middle. You see, it's clear James is being his authentic self online. This leads to people latching on to certain things he says, not understanding why he sees these posts get lots of interaction and proceeds to post more like him. In his head, this means, oh, people like this post. I should make more of them. This does tend to blend in with a lot of his normal posts, so while he's self-aware to some extent, he's also a moron. Tying in with the largest overarching theme of James's life. Why is he famous and why do people like him? Clearly, James doesn't really know, but it doesn't matter. thus why he has the ego he does. The real reason he's famous now is because people gawk at him and laugh at him. But if he became fully self-aware, people wouldn't find him nearly as interesting. Going back to the Chinese dating show, I mean, I'm sure you could claim it's dramatized to some degree, but James is clearly delusional about himself. The way the equation stands is James will do something to him that is normal as he shares his entire life
That's
online.
still so
This thing
nasty.
will blow up and he'll keep doing it, hence why he's still doing Gangnam Style and Water Bucket Challenge 10 years later. So in a weird way, the internet has
God.
shaped the life and personality of a nearly 40-year-old man to become this, when it usually tends to shape the life of children. But in all fairness, he is a bit of a man-child.
Wow, where is James Cage White now? Oh, I have to. Oh my God! Yes, yes, yes. Let's go. We found his Instagram, boys. Wasn't very hard. Oh my God. I just want to see. What is? Hi guys. Today is the 6th day that I don't buy games from Steam. I also don't watch Bad Sight and M. Very cool. Very swag. I like it. That's what I'm talking about. When was this? 5 hours ago. When was this video made?
Outside, it's
4 months ago. Okay, so he's still up to his shenanigans. All right, I was scared that the video was like 3 years ago, and he's still up to it. Hey, my boy's got the followers though. My boy is popping off. He is definitely an influencer. Holy shit, influencing something. Today is 4th day I don't buy game from Steam. I also don't watch. And bro, what the fuck? I have 2 words. Steam game. and Steam. Oh man, bro. Oh my God. All right, everybody, that's enough. Just remember, if you're ever not getting a job or refuse to get off of your ass and work, just know it's your fate.